Hey, what's up, guys? So, today I'm going to give you the ultimate comparison between the JBL Charge 5 and the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus because I know a lot of you will be tempted to know what the differences are in terms of sound and ultimately which one you should get. So, I'm going to make that easy for you. But before we begin, I have a few requests for you guys. Number one, if you do enjoy what you see, kindly smash that like button and subscribe to PRCast 9 if you haven't already. And if after watching this episode, whichever speaker that you decide to pick up, even if it's both, kindly use the links of these speakers given in the description below to make your purchase. I promise you it's not going to cost you anything extra, but you guys will be indirectly helping me run this channel and produce more such high quality content just for you guys. Alright, with that said, now let's begin. Alright, so these two speakers obviously share a number of specs and features, and some of them are the same and some of them are different. So I'm not going to waste your time by going over each and every one of them. Rather, the chart you're seeing right now basically summarizes that for you. So have a good look and pause the video if you need to. Okay, so now I'm going to give you my review, my feedback on the sound, what the differences are and how the quality is. And at the end of the episode is when you're going to get the sound test. And I'll explain how I'm going to do that because it's going to be a bit tricky for this episode. Okay, so you guys know that if you are an existing viewer, I don't just say good sound or bad sound. I delve deeper and give you the details. And I tell you that any sound that you hear is made up broadly of three major frequencies: the highs, the mids, and the lows. Highs, where the really sharp sounding instruments are, mids, where the vocals are making up for kind of the body of the music, and the lows or the bass. So starting off with the highs, you can't really go wrong with either of these. So they make no compromise. So the highs are crystal clear on both. But one thing you should keep in mind throughout this review, and which I noticed as well, is that the JBL Charge 5 is a 40 watt speaker, while the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus is a 30 watt speaker. So there is a difference of 10 watts. And although that doesn't make a huge difference, but it did make a difference in terms of how these two speakers produced the frequencies and how you are able to pick them up with your ears. So in my testing, when I was listening to songs or music, the highs, while pristine and clear on both, like zero crackling, zero distortion at max volume, sometimes and more often than not, I would find that the JBL Charge 5 would have highs that would be just a tad bit more prominent. There would be more upfront. And this doesn't mean that the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus produces highs that are muffled. By no means. It's also very, very clear and absolutely audible. Now, this is where it gets confusing because I suspect that it's because of that 10 watt difference in output power. That's where the JBL Charge 5 takes the lead by just a hair. So if you're really paying attention, you would see, or you would realize that the highs sound just a tad bit more prevalent and more upfront on the JBL Charge 5. But quality being a factor or a concern for you, rest assured either one you pick is going to produce beautifully balanced, rich, detailed highs. So no problems there. So it's going to come down to your personal preference. Now, coming to the mid frequencies or the vocals, again, you cannot complain about either of these speakers when it comes to how they render the vocals. They sound really, really beautiful. It's really balanced, it's rich, and it doesn't add any sort of superficial sharpening, no superficial clarity. It just sounds very natural with a lot of clarity and richness. So that's like, it's kudos to both because they do it beautifully. Again, because of the 10 watt difference and the JBL having an extra 10 watts in its advantage, that is where I feel again sometimes the vocals would maybe sound a bit more prominent on the JBL Charge 5. But this is me just talking about in terms of, say, the volume primarily, and with that, maybe consequently, it just sounds a bit sharper. But if you heard it individually or even side by side when I did my testing, it's not that you're going to pick one over the other because the quality is identical and it is amazing on both. But if you just want that edge, if you just want that extra bit of reach with the mid frequencies, you probably would pick the JBL Charge 5. Now coming to the low frequencies or the bass. Again, I'll tell you why it gets so tricky, but let me just give you the rundown on the bass. So both are capable of producing really deep and enjoyable bass. Like they've got the punch, they've got the thickness. It just sounds really, really good. And it's well rounded, rich bass. None of that muddy, hollow bass from other speakers. So it sounds really good. Like they go blow for blow, and you can't really say that one is better than the other. But the JBL Charge 5 has lows which sometimes sound comparatively more balanced. And while they're rich and round and thick, they sound balanced. And at times, in comparison, the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus would feel like it just has a bit more reach with the lows. It just has a bit, like a tad bit more punch or thump to it, which really worked in its favor. But this is where it gets tricky. Now, the JBL Charge 5 right out of the box, the sound that you get is the sound that you get. Obviously, you can use the EQ of the music app you are playing from. You can do that, but that's an extra step. But if you don't do that, it doesn't have any other EQ presets that come with any companion app. With the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus, it has the bass up technology, which is a proprietary feature that the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus has. It's turned off. So with that off, you get a very flat sound signature. You feel like it lacks bass because it just produces enough bass to, give you an idea that, okay, it has bass radiators packed inside. But when you turn on the bass up technology, or you use the companion app to turn on any of the EQ presets it's got set, or it's got a dedicated EQ with which you can really tweak the sound to your liking. As I mentioned in my review of the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus as well, I always like to use the preset known as Heavy in its companion app, and that gives you the best balance between the bass, the mids and the highs. It's the best preset in my opinion. When I turn that on, that is when things take a turn. And that's when I feel that the bass of the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus gets one step ahead of the JBL Charge 5. Overall, if I had to say, even with the Heavy preset on, I personally would probably gravitate towards the JBL Charge 5 because maybe those 10 watts extra that it has at its disposal gives the JBL Charge 5 an edge in terms of the clarity and the audibility for the highs and mids, and the lows are really good as well. And for the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus, while in terms of quality there is absolutely no complaints, there is no point even trying to find out any complaints regarding its quality. But if bass was the selling factor for you and you just wanted that one hair extra punch that sometimes mind you, that the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus gives you, then you should pick the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus if that is a huge factor. Okay, so guys, one thing you have to keep in mind is that these are my opinions. Okay, so this is what I felt. Now, it obviously could differ from what you think, especially after listening to the sound test in the next segment. Now, with the sound test, this is what I did. In the first round, they're going to play the same songs, but the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus is going to have no presets turned on. It's going to be as it comes right out of the box. So no bass up technology, no presets turned on. And with the JBL Charge 5, there is nothing you can do. So it plays right out of the box, whatever sound it is. In the second round, again, it's going to be the same track, but the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus is going to have the preset known as Heavy turned on, and the JBL Charge 5 is going to be as it is. So I think this will give you a fair idea of what the differences can be with or without the EQ turned on the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus, and if it really takes a step ahead or if it sounds the same. So you guys will get a fair idea, and you guys should let me know in the comment section below what you guys think, what the differences are and which one you prefer. In terms of versatility, I think the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus is a little ahead, and primarily for two reasons. Number one, it's got a very useful companion app with which you can actually set the EQs, you can set the sleep timer, you can turn off the speaker as well. So it's a really useful companion app. With the JBL Charge 5, yes, you get the app known as JBL Portable, but with that app, there is nothing you can do. I mean, at least I couldn't find out. If you guys know, do let me know in the comment section below, but I couldn't find any use of that app. So yeah, there's nothing you can do. And the Anker Soundcore Motion Plus has a built-in microphone, so you can take calls on this, and it's also useful during your online meetings. The JBL Charge 5 strangely does not have a built-in microphone. Obviously, it comes down to your use scenario and how you're going to use it, and whichever serves your purpose, you should spend your money on that. Anyway, guys, I think I've spoken enough. So now I'm going to leave you with the sound test. Enjoy that. As always, if you have enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to PRcast9, and if you do decide to pick up any of these speakers, please use the links given in the description below to make your purchase, to indirectly help run this channel and helping me produce more such quality content just for you guys. Enjoy the sound test, and as always, I'll catch you guys very soon in the next one. Cheers.